Aristotle, or why the Earth is a sphere. In our time, the Earth's spherical shape is a known fact, even if a few tiny two-legged creatures still doubt it. After all, they can bring up strong arguments. I just don't like it.
Yeah, have you ever heard something like that? Ha ha ha, truly unbelievable.
As mentioned, we still want to assume the Earth is a sphere and introduce the person who, to our knowledge, provided the first proofs for it. Which brings us to Aristotle, one of the most influential thinkers in history. Born in 384 BC in Stagira, Aristotle, who came from a family of doctors, was not only a philosopher, but also a scientist, teacher, and writer. In the age of social media, some might say he had an opinion on everything. In less social times, they simply called him a polymath, or often a universal genius. For 20 years until Plato's death, he was a member of Plato's Academy, where he researched and taught. But while Plato explored the world of ideas, Aristotle turned to the physical world. For him, knowledge came through experience and observation. His work covered biology, physics, ethics, logic, rhetoric, and much more. He was the pioneer of systematically classifying living things. In ethics, he taught that the goal of life is eudaimonia, a fulfilling, happy life. It's achieved through balance and virtue. And yes, he was also the teacher of a certain Alexander the Great. There's a lot of talk about the influence he had on Alexander, but there's no solid proof. What we do know is that Alexander always carried with him the copy of the Iliad, Homer's work about the Trojan War, that he received from Aristotle during his campaigns. No, the round thing must go into the square thing is a different topic, but now it's getting round. While Pythagoras, who you might remember from math class, and Plato already believed the Earth was a sphere, it was Aristotle who was able to prove it through observations. His first argument, during lunar eclipses, the Earth always casts a round shadow. And what casts a round shadow? Exactly, a sphere. Secondly, he observed sailing ships. When a ship was far away, the tip of its sail was the first thing you could see. As the ship got closer, more and more of the sail became visible until the whole ship could be seen. On a flat Earth, the whole ship should always be visible. Only its size would increase as the distance decreased. And third, the constellations. If you travel south, you suddenly see completely different stars in the night sky than in the north. This only makes sense if you're on a sphere, which changes your viewing angle. Fun fact on the side. Aristotle also came to the conclusion of the Earth's spherical shape from a purely philosophical point of view, because in his belief, and that of his time, the Earth was the center of the universe. Everything had to strive towards the center, and that was only possible if it was a sphere, which shows us that even wrong assumptions can lead to the right result, a small ray of hope for us mere mortals. If you haven't fallen asleep by now, and you enjoyed this trip into the history of science, a thumbs up would make my day. And hitting the subscribe button would be just as wonderful, as would welcoming you back for the next video.